So our actions as judges and as coaches and everything like that speak volumes to people that are in the stands. I used to say it's kind of like we have a video recorder going on, except it's not this camera, right? It's the people's perception of what's happening on the floor. So we don't want to let one momentary lapse in our testimony overshadow that gospel message that's coming after the events. That make sense? All right, so let's see what we got here. We're doing this to motivate the clubbers to participate in Awana. They have to say a certain number of verses to be on your team. We liked our things to be started on time, conducted efficiently, run well. That's really what we're after, the people that are planning the meet. We want to start on time. So we have certain things we're going to go over here in a few minutes that pertain to you as coaches to help us make the meet run smoother. All right? And the spectators, what they're going to say, this is a very professionally run event, and they're going to enjoy it. I've been to a few other churches, areas, Awana games, and I think ours are run spectacular compared to theirs. I remember how it was run when I was a kid. So winning is not the ultimate goal, all right? You know, second place is another place for first place loser. I mean, that's a joke that we say, but really we're not out there to win. We're out there to honor the Lord, all right? Bodily exercise is profits us little, but godliness is profitable in all things, having the promise of life that is now and that which is to come, all right? So it's great that we're out there having a blast and the kids are getting to exercise, but it's really not the overall goal here, all right? Cost, pastor, spouse is free, $3 to get in. We'll worry about that later.
And please don't bring $100 bills if you're the first one to come in.
A couple $100 bills will wipe us out. Unless you want to donate it, then we have.
Yeah, those go in the donation box, not
So
in
this is kind of a key thing. The placement of the teams, of who's against who, there's quite the Excel spreadsheet that I saw with some interesting formulas. It's basically based on your past performance, right? Because we don't want to stick a church out there that has never done games before against teams that win every year, because why? It's just no fun for those kids. So the teams that are the best, you know, based upon their history. Now, there's no guarantee that they're going to be the great ones this year, right? But past performance, no guarantee of, you know, the current performance, but the teams that are from the big churches, they're all going to be against one another, little churches against one another. Make sense? All right.
Can I ask,
Sure.
what do you do when you have a church? Like, we chose to have two teams. We did last year. and-
If you can let us know which is team 1 and team 2,
Okay,
okay? Now,
yeah, because
We don't
definitely
allow-
our team 2 is
I'm going to be recorded
100%
here.
kindergartners.
Okay, unfortunately, I'm going to be recorded on this, but when we would have multiple teams, there's the team that really knows what they're doing, and there's the team that doesn't know what they're doing.
Yes.
The kids don't know. Now, maybe some of them can figure it out, but, you know, your team 1, let us know, and then that will be your team that will be in the
Okay.
tougher circle, and team 2, let us
Yes.
know that, and
unless we're told
don't have to
otherwise.
tell us, switch it up, okay, going,
Yeah.
oh, I don't want to be against those guys, I'm going to send this team out there against them. Don't change it up.
No.
But,
No. We have, our kindergartners are almost equal to the rest of our Sparks.
well, I am happy that you're going to have 2 Spark teams.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, we had,
Josh!
out of our 81 kids,
81 Sparkies.
Yes.
36 of them are kindergartners.
I
Almost
am,
half of our club.
that is fantastic.
So we're gonna have a second team of just
All right.
our kindergartners.
All right, so, it's part of the process of registering online. It's going to say, you know, how many teams that you have. And it's going to ask for some contact information, the name of the coach, the email address. And it's also going to ask for your volunteer names and email addresses. All right? Now, according to the rule book, all right, you're not officially registered until you've filled out that form, you've given us accurate information on the coach and the volunteers, and you paid. Because we've had a few teams that compete and never pay. But don't worry about that. We're not. All right. It's going to be held at Westminster Christian Academy, same place we've had the last few years. The time, noon to 2. It usually doesn't take all the way to 2 o'clock. I think for Sparkies, we can get that done a little quicker. All right, on the 9th, we have, let's see, I don't know if you put Division 4 in here. No, we didn't. All right, let me go back. Maybe I'll go back. All right, so there's no Division 1, which is the really big teams. Division 2, and then we have another one that's on the addendum, talks about Division 4, that's 5 or 6 players. Okay, so you guys got a boatload of kids that you're here, right? But for some churches, they're not going to be able to even come up with 10 kids. So we created this Division 4. Now, we attempt to have, 4 teams on a circle. If we don't get a full circle of Division 2, we convert you to Division 4. There's no upcharge for the additional teams, and that makes it so that more kids can play. Does that make any sense? Okay. Past performance, churches, you can enter as many teams as you like. I'm happy to hear that you're entering multiple teams. Policies, only 2 coaches per team on the floor. So the floor area is taped off. If you've got extra people, that's fantastic. They can sit in the stands, or sit on the floor behind the tape that cordons off the playing area, all right? And we don't allow moms and dads into that area. That's a liability thing for us, okay? All right. Coaches, players not participating in the event got to stay behind their colored line. We also ask that you're seated. If you have an issue with a call that was made, let your line judge know, okay? And I said this at the line judge meeting that we had before this, we really go out of our way to not disqualify Sparkies. I mean, we really go out of our way to not disqualify them. I mean, if you're running the wrong direction in our running race, there's not a lot we can do about that. But if I see a pin get knocked over, I'm going to set the pin back up as the circle director, okay? And now if they're running on the inside of the circle the whole way around, then we're going to have to do something about that. But a lot of times they knock over pins in just when they're taking like the Sparky Safari with the animals and the pins here, and they actually walk into the other team's zone, and then they knock the pin over. It's not that big of a deal. So anyway, we have this chain of command. We have your kids talk to you, then you talk to the line judge, and then the line judge talks to the circle director. You don't run straight to the circle director. They're trying to run the whole circle, all right? But if they see the 2 of you talking down here, they'll typically walk over. Is everything okay? Yeah, okay. And if it's not, then we'll discuss it and take things. You're not talking to timers and scorekeepers. If you think there's an error in the score, let your line judge know immediately, and so that we can get that straightened away. Sometimes you might not have seen the disqualification. That's typically what happens in Trek, Journey, and TNT, where somebody gets disqualified, and that's the reason why the score is different. But if you notice a problem with the score, say something. Now, the scores aren't posted instantaneously. They're usually about a game and a half behind. So, and I know for Trek and Journey and TNT, there's a point where we stop putting up the score. So we do that so that people just don't get up and leave. Oh, my kid's lost, or whatever, and they leave. It also adds a little bit of excitement to it. Okay, let's see. 2 honor points for good sportsmanship for each event. You really have got to go out of your way to not get the honor points. I mean, if you're ranting and raving as a coach or swearing or something like that, I guarantee you're not going to get your honor points. And then it's not really a whistle. It's this computer-generated sound.
It's an e-whistle.
The email says, coaches, please attend the spring training meeting. All games that will have a representative attendance will start off with 5 points.
I know.
So which is right?
Well, those are 2 different things. Those are honor points.
These are honor points.
Oh, so you're saying both are
So
available to be gotten?
You guys all are going to start off with 5 points.
Oh, okay, I thought it
Because
was
you're
one or
physically
the
here.
other.
And then this one is for each and every event. So if there's 6 Sparky events,
Okay,
then that's 12 points total that you're going to get. So
Okay.
each time there's an event, that automatically gets added on the score. The only way it doesn't get added in is if the circle director says something to that scorekeeper and says, don't give green team their honor points. Now, we'll have already told green team why that's happening.
okay. Okay, so we will be aware of it.
You
if
will
we use
definitely be
that.
aware
Okay.
if you don't get these.
Oh, no, that's good to know, because if something did
I don't think
happen
I've
with that,
ever
make
for
sure we
Sparky's
remember.
So
not
Sandy,
given these.
Don't freak out and coach them.
Yeah, you could lose the 5 points because we have it on video if someone swears it. The other thing too is that because of the adverse weather today, we are showing some semblance of grace. This is being recorded,
Okay,
and so if a coach says, yes, I watched the video, we will count that as having received the 5 points. We actually have had already 2 people contacting saying, why haven't the videos been posted yet?
We're not that
You're
good.
not live,
Wait, you're the one that did that?
It's, no, it hasn't been live, we're not, yeah, we're waiting for live.
Next year it'll be live
Oh.
stream.
Can we all get 10 points because you're here?
No added grace, no
No
extra
added
grace.
grace,
Just want to check.
grace upon grace.
We'll give you,
Good try, though.
but we won't actually put them on the scoreboard. You
Do we have an extra snow thing?
can have an extra snow cone. All right, so we've got, the kids have to do certain things to be on the team, right? And we ask that they pass 10 sections. Now, this is really up to you as, your church. If you want to have some kid for some reason or other, you feel that they need to be on team and they haven't passed 10 sections, we don't have a problem with that. We know that there are some kids that, for them to do 10 sections is next to impossible.